He's at it again, folks, and unfortunately, I think it might even be worse than the last time we talked about this clown. Because we're talking about Nick Wright again. He had some things to say about Lamar. He had some things to say about the Ravens, and they just flat out were ridiculous. I mean, look at that guy. Like I said last time, only a face a mother could love. And unfortunately, we're about to talk about that face for a little while because I just got to share with you the crazy things that he had to say about our boys in purple. But before we get into any of that, let's play a game. If you could mute Nick Wright for the rest of your life, if you want to mute him for the rest of your life, go ahead and spam me down in the comment section. I want to see how many of you guys feel exactly the way I would. So if you would, give me a lot of me's in the comment section. Man, we had a couple weeks of these kind of videos because we had a lot of people saying a lot of negative things about Baltimore, and then people went quiet for a little while, right? The Ravens started winning a lot of games, started playing really well. Lamar started playing fantastic. So, of course, people stopped talking about you when you start playing well. And then, of course, Nick Wright had to run his mouth again. This is what he said the morning following the Ravens win against the Cincinnati Bengals. He said, everything Brew, meaning Chris Broussard, just said about Lamar Judge is 100% true. I apologize. Aaron Jackson. He's saying this, of course, poking jabs at Lamar Jackson, comparing him to Aaron Judge of a guy who's great in the regular season, but doesn't show up in the playoffs. Absolute clown. But then he went on to say he is in the midst of one of the greatest regular seasons ever. However, maybe I was in a bit of a fog on our morning call because I was certain, based on our show and every show precedent, we'd be starting with, did Baltimore get lucky? No, Nick, they didn't get lucky. And you know why? It's because they have number 8. But of course, when you win a game because of Lamar Jackson, you don't say anything about luck or you don't say anything about skill. You say, oh, they got lucky. But whenever it's a guy like Patrick Mahomes winning a game on a walk-off kick, driving a team down late, you say he's the greatest clutch player of all time. Take a look at what Lamar Jackson did in the fourth quarter against Cincinnati. I mean, it was generational. He went 11 for 13. That's 85% completion percentage. He had 197 yards, almost 2 bills, 3 touchdowns, and a perfect passer rating of 158.3. Okay, so I got a question for you guys. Does Lamar get enough credit for being clutch? Because I don't think he does, okay? I think people think he's great. Not Nick Wright, but I think people think he's great, but I don't think clutch is a word that gets thrown around in Lamar's name as much, and I think it should. So if you don't think he gets enough credit, give me a Y. If you think so, give me an N. This is about to be the pinned comment on today's YouTube video. So scroll down when that ad break comes, find it for me, and give me a Y or an N. Did you guys know that Lamar Jackson, since 2021, has 3 wins when trailing by 14 or more points in the fourth quarter? 3 wins when trailing by 2 or more touchdowns in the fourth quarter of a football game. Most by any quarterback in that time span, okay? And people are starting to notice, right? Players on their own team are starting to notice. This is what Rashad Bateman had to say. He was telling teammates in the game against the Bengals. He said, we've got Lamar Jackson. I'm not going to lie to you. If he's on the field, we have a chance to win the game, period. Yet people want to tear him down. People who wear sunglasses on a TV set and look like total idiots, those are guys that want to tear down a guy who's having maybe the greatest season of any quarterback of all time. We'll go into that in just a little bit more. But guys, it's gotten to be ridiculous because he is clutch, okay? This is him in the fourth quarter of this entire year. 63.8% completion percentage, 708 yards, 7 touchdowns, and my favorite of all these statistics, 0 interceptions. Not a single interception thrown, okay? So Nick Wright, you're wrong. They didn't get lucky. They just have number 8 as their quarterback. A guy who can throw for 200 yards, complete 85% of his passes, throw 3 touchdowns, have a perfect passer rating in the fourth quarter against the Cincinnati Bengals team that people thought going into this year, okay, Joe Burrow's back, Jamar Chase is back. They're going to be Super Bowl contenders. Well, you beat them twice. Both time fourth quarter comebacks. Both time Lamar Jackson is leading that team to that comeback, okay? Fortunately, there's not a bunch of idiots in the media. We actually have somebody on TV who knows what he's talking about. That's Mr. Colin Cowherd. We'll talk about what he has to say and had to say about Lamar Jackson coming up in just a little bit. But before we do, I got to give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is our friends over at PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the most fun and exciting and easy way to play daily fantasy sports, and you can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. And PrizePicks puts its members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. PrizePicks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on PrizePicks. And guys, this is how you play. That's the best part about it, is it is so dang easy. You pick 2 to 6 players, you pick more or less, get them in the lineup, and sometimes, like it shows down there, right? Not sometimes, you could choose to flex or power play. Flex is a great tool. You can just say, hey, I want to win just 2 out of 3 of these. The payout's not as big, or you can power play it, risk it all, and say, you know what? All of these are going to hit. I'm exactly 100% confident in myself. So download the PrizePicks app and use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. If you guys like the way we're talking about Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens on this episode, well, I got good news for you. We talk about Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens on every episode that we do. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for daily Ravens videos, breaking news coverage. We're live for every single game of the NFL season, or for the Ravens at least. The best part about it is it's all 100% free. So there's 22,000 members of the flock we have rocking with us here on Ravens Rundown. You can be one of them as well. All right, let's get into what Colin Cowherd had to say on Lamar. He said, so all of us, when you mention the top 10 quarterbacks of all time, everybody puts Dan Marino in there. Everybody puts Dan Marino in. Never won a Super Bowl. Why does Lamar Jackson have to win a Super Bowl? That's one of the best players in the history of the league. And finally, hallelujah, someone knows ball on TV. And I absolutely love that, because that's everybody's argument, okay? Hasn't won a Super Bowl. Hasn't won a Super Bowl. First off, he's still really young. Second off, right, Dan Marino is in everybody's top 10 quarterbacks of all time, yet he never won one. Never won one, okay? And so you look at Lamar, and no, he doesn't have to win a Super Bowl. Do I think he will? Yes. Do I want him to? Yes. But he still should be considered one of the greatest players of all time, because he's already won the MVP award twice, and he might do it a third time this year, because look at this pace that he's on. His touchdown to interception ratio is 41-3. That would be best in each of those categories last year in 2023. His passing yards, he's on pace for 4,537. That's third in 2023. Completion percentage, 69.1. That's what he's on pace for. That's still top 10 last year. Number 6 exactly. His passer rating, 123.2 for a guy they call a freaking running back. That would be first in 2023. And rush yards, 915. That'd be 19th in 2023 if we're talking about overall. But if you're talking about quarterbacks, of course, we all know it'd be first. And Vegas is taking notice as well, right? They know it just as well as we do. We can see ball, they can see ball. The MVP odds came out or refreshed just yesterday or a few days ago. Lamar Jackson is sitting as the odds-on favorite to win the award. He's at plus 125. Josh Allen trails at plus 340. Patrick Mahomes at plus 700, which is kind of ridiculous. Like, in my opinion, let's say, I'm trying to think of a rank. If Trevor Lawrence had Patrick Mahomes' stats, he would not be the third best favorite or the third highest favorite to win the MVP. Whatever. Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff tied at 4th and 5th, both at plus 1,200. So Lamar Jackson, 10 weeks through, is the odds-on favorite to win the MVP award, which would be his third. And yet guys like Nick Wright still want to talk shit about him. Blows my mind. Alrighty, what is your confidence level that Lamar will win his third MVP? Scale it for me in the comment section down below from 1 to 10. 10, you're like, yeah, 100%, I'd put $1 million on it. 1, you're like, no way, it's going to be Gardner Minshew. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love it if you guys gave me a follow over on Twitter, or X as they're saying nowadays. You can find me at Joey Peterson 8. I have 776 followers as of right now. My goal is to get to 800. So if you love me covering the Ravens on here, I cover the Ravens on there just as well. So go ahead, give me a follow. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.